What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking out for the future of this company. I'm also going to break down some technical indicators for Tesla and talk about what my price prediction is for tomorrow based off what we saw today. I'm also going to break down what the Fed is doing for the upcoming FOMC meeting for tomorrow and talk about how that could affect the market, and also what the latest pieces of news are saying for Tesla before I end the video with some tweets from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Elon Musk, as he did like something very important for Tesla. Now, before I break any of this down, before I talk about where I see Tesla going, I do have to mention a couple of very important things. First, the first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull with the link down below and deposit any amount of money into the account, whether it's $1 or $100, it's up to you. You are guaranteed 5 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000, and you could always sell these 5 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some Tesla shares for free. Now, this is a limited time offer that ends in 2 weeks, so please check it out to get your free Tesla shares. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So anyways, looking at Tesla, we did have a pretty good green day today. However, guys, I hate to say this, but I don't think this is going to last forever. I don't think that we're going to be green for tomorrow based off what we're seeing, and I do expect a bit of a pullback before the market starts to rip again after the FOMC meeting. So why am I a little bit bearish going into tomorrow? Well, let's first talk about the important dates and what's going on with the news, right? The first thing is this right here. The big FOMC meeting is going to be between the 3rd and 4th of May. And typically when we get into these big meetings, the lead up to the meetings leads to lots of bearish price action for the market. And the market is acting like a chain for Tesla and NIO and many other stocks out there that can actually push it down. So the big day is actually the 4th. That's going to be on Wednesday. We're obviously barely about to enter Tuesday, going into tomorrow. So we're just getting into it. And I think right after this, we have to look for what is announced. So here's what the market is expecting: a 50 basis point federal rate hike in May of 2022. Now, the reason they're projecting this is it's the Fed's way of actually addressing inflation, and the market loves certainty. So once we get this certainty, if this is actually announced, which I believe it's been calculated that there's a 99% chance that this is going to be calculated and actually announced. So if we get that 50 basis point rate hike, it's going to be very good for the market. So be on the lookout for this, and I do expect the market to get a nice bounce after that. Now, if they somehow surprise us, and there's less than a 1% chance of that happening, if it's a 75 basis point rate hike, then the market will take a big hit. However, I don't see that coming because I think that we're basically almost guaranteed to see that 50 basis point rate hike or a 0.5% hike, and things should be fine going into after that. So as we get closer to the 4th, I do expect the market to collectively take a bit of a hit, and I do think that's going to kind of act like a chain or an anchor, right? It's going to hold Tesla down, pull it down with it, and I do think that's going to play a role. Another thing that's going to play a role are these pieces of news that are coming out. I don't think this is necessarily a bad piece of news, nor do I think this is very significant, but this is what ended up coming all over the headlines, and that is Tesla recalls 62,900 Model 3s in the US and China over speed display. Now, this is kind of a misleading article because they like to use the word recall, but it's not your typical recall because all they have to do is push an over-the-air update. It's just a little software update and then the issue is fixed. So it doesn't have the same weight, the same connotation as calling it a recall, in my opinion, compared to other companies out there. Like if another company had a big recall, there'd have to be different repercussions, different things being used. This is just a simple software update fix. But like I said before, the news likes to exaggerate. But other big pieces of news are this right here. The virus was spreading in China. China had these big lockdowns. As a result, many EVs are starting to report their April deliveries. At the time I'm recording this, Tesla has not reported theirs yet, which is why I'm not showing you yet. But if you do watch this video, I'm obviously uploading it a little bit later than when I'm recording it. So maybe the deliveries will be out by then. But as of right now, they're not out. But I already know what's going to happen. I have a very good idea because NIO, the company NIO, which I'm still very bullish for, their deliveries declined by 49%. Li Auto, I'm also bullish for this company. their deliveries were down 62.3%, while Xbox were down 41.6%. So EVs across China are seeing massive hits in their deliveries because of the fact that there were these lockdowns and these factory shutdowns that were temporary. And as a result, I do expect this to have an effect on Tesla. I think another report showed that Tesla is expected to have like 50,000 less deliveries than, or they lost 50,000 because of the shutdown. And that is something to be looking out for, because a lot of people out there tend to exaggerate. A lot of news articles will take advantage of this and hammer Tesla, and this could have a negative effect on the share price. Am I guaranteeing that? Answer is no. Nothing in the market's guaranteed, but this is something to just be, have this at the back of your mind, be prepared for this. Something very important you need to remember. So other big sources out there like Barron's are also reporting this, the fact that NIO, Li Auto, and XPeng, they are seeing big declines in their deliveries. They're down by over 50% or around that range. So it may cause Tesla, or it's just an indicator that Tesla may report kind of low, I wouldn't say low, but not so great deliveries, right? It's something that happens due to supply constraints and lockdowns. So as a result of that, and also the market being kind of bearish going into the FOMC meeting, I'm actually a little bit bearish going into tomorrow. I do think we're going to see a bit of a drop for Tesla. I think the market's going to take a bit of a hit, but after the meeting is done, after the fourth, maybe even during the fourth, that's when I think we're going to get our bounce. And I am still pretty bullish for the month of May. I think the market's going to rally in May. You just have to be patient. I know almost no one is saying that. Everyone is saying the market's about to crash. Yes, it may crash for a day or two, but after that, I see a nice bounce, a nice recovery coming, and I am still very bullish. So what's going on with Tesla? Where do we see this thing going? Well, in my previous video, I made the prediction that I thought this thing would drop to that 847 to 850 range. We ended up getting a bounce at $848.50. That's a key level of support. We got a nice bounce off that. We held up just like what I thought. Then we got a nice push at the end, and I predicted we'd get a push and close around 880 to 890. We ended up closing at $902 a share, so I was pretty close. And it's one of those moments where, yeah, I could be right, but I'm not always going to be right. So don't just make trades based off predictions, but I do it for the sake of the viewers because you guys have requested this. So what do I see playing out? So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about support and resistance levels before I give you guys my prediction. So if this thing were to drop, remember that it has support at $872.79 as of right now. This is where I think the current trend was leading us to. Then the next key level of support is 848.5 or $848.50. If that doesn't hold us, we're going to drop to 825. If that can't hold us either, then the key level of support is $800 flat. So be on the lookout for that. Now, I don't know if we're going to drop that low, but if we were to somehow rally and start pushing to the upside, I think there's some resistance. Resistance around that like 918 range. I didn't really map that out, but the next key level resistance is 934, then 975 once we start pushing up, which I think we're going to do within, I would say, a week to a week and a half from now. But as of right now, my prediction for tomorrow is still kind of bearish. That's because of the fact that if Tesla does announce their April deliveries, there may be a slight drop, and obviously news articles will take advantage of that. The market is probably going to drop tomorrow collectively due to the FOMC meeting, due to uncertainty, and this is what a lot of the shorts, the hedge funds like to do to the market. They like to push it down really hard as we get closer to these dates, and because we're entering at such a low point, that's when I think the bounce is going to come right after the meetings are over, after the 4th of May. So where do I see this thing going before then? Why am I so bearish? I already told you that. I think tomorrow, if we don't get that nice push into the opening, I think we're going to drop, and 872 is going to be our key level of support. And I don't think that's going to hold us. I think we're going to try to bounce off that. Then we're going to push down again. We might get a bounce off 848. I really hope that holds us. I predict we're probably going to get a slight bounce. We might actually push a little bit lower down to 825, get a nice bounce off there, have resistance at 848, push up, then drop and trade a little bit sideways. And I would not be surprised if we actually closed around $872 a share, a little bit in the red, after we are still seeing the FOMC meeting having its toll on the markets. Now, when it comes to the rate hike, as of right now, the rate hike may already be priced in. It probably is priced in at this point. So it's just a matter of time once we get that confirmation of the 50 basis point rate hike, I do think we're going to get that rally. It's just going to take a couple of days. So for my prediction, like I said before, I would not be surprised if this thing dropped. It is possible for us to bounce off 850. If not, we should bounce off 825. Once we get that bounce, we're going to push to the upside. And once we push up, we might get some key resistance at 872. And then we might actually close a little bit above there, maybe around 875, around that range. But I am anticipating a bit of a red day for Tesla. And that is where I see the entire market going. It is possible for us to drop even harder, but it's nothing to be worried about because remember, this is a very good opportunity to buy the dips for the long term, to buy many calls if you're still very bullish, and actually trade options or do anything like that depending on what you think is going to play out. Now, I gave you guys my prediction. I am a little bit bearish for tomorrow, but for the long term, I'm still very, very bullish. And here's one of the many reasons why. As of right now, according to his name is Sire Merritt, I apologize if I said that wrong, Elon Musk liked this tweet, and it states right here that the Model 3 is the most American made car. Tesla employs over 50,000 people in the US. Tesla is one of the greatest American success stories of all time. They are a leader in American innovation and have created billions in shareholder value. And you can see right here the top 10 most American made cars. Number one is the Tesla Model 3. Number two is the Ford Mustang. Number three is the Tesla Model Y. Once again, just another indication of how amazing this company is. A lot of people love these cars. They love the fact that it's so American made. And on top of that, we're seeing lots of innovation coming from the US as they are opening more gigafactories, and the future is still extremely bright for the future. So, when it comes to the market, I'm pretty bullish for the month of May. I think we're going to get one last dip for the next 1 or 2 days before we start to see a nice push to the upside. And after that, I do think that in the later months, we could get some more bearish price action. But as of right now, it's not the end of the world because you have to remember, short term, there's going to be some shaky price action. The market's not in the perfect state. I know that our economy is not perfect, but the long term is still extremely bright. The company's doing better. They keep on improving. And as long as they maintain these levels, as long as they keep growing, I'm confident the share price is going to soar. I'm confident that what Kathy Wood said about this company hitting 4,600 a share by 2026 may even be an understatement. And this thing is going to soar to the absolute moon. So it's nothing to be worried about. So anyways, I want to thank you all for listening. Prepare for some downside for tomorrow and the day after, but I do expect a nice bounce after the FOMC meeting, and I am still very bullish for the long term. With that said and done, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of the day. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.